Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. You know, a few months back, we shot my friend Frankie's bone stock Trackhawk. You know, the Hellcat powered Jeep Grand Cherokee. Well, today we're getting into my friend Alfonso's not stock Trackhawk. This thing's making close to 1,000 horsepower, and he's done a bunch of other things to it. So all I can say is hold on, because here we go, man. All right, you guys, here we are with Alfonso and his badass Trackhawk. What prompted him to go from stock to building it probably more quickly than he'd planned on was you got in an accident.
I was in an accident, yeah. I got T-boned at a four-way stop sign.
With only 1,200 miles on the
1,200 miles on it, yeah.
Ah, brutal.
Yeah. You know, while it was apart, I figured, well, if they have to take it all apart when they go to put it back together again, I might as well do some upgrades. Since the engine's out, suspension is out, so I did the full, there's a company called B Woody. They have a full suspension upgrade package. I upgraded the suspension front and rear and different bushings, and then...
And you said with the suspension, you went to an adjustable coilover on it?
Not coilover, just the sway bar links, the tow bar, everything is just thicker, much thicker, beefier, more rigid, and then...
Okay.
Those are adjustable because when you lower these cars, a lot of times if you lower them and you still have the stock suspension components, you can't get the camber right because there's only enough play at stock height to get it back.
Got it.
So I wanted the adjustability, but I also wanted it to handle much better. I mean, it handled good to begin with, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But now it handles like a completely different car.
Right.
Differential braces front and back.
Got it. Okay.
So, yeah.
I know you did exhaust tips, and you said it's cat back on that?
I just did an AFE cat back. You know, this is my daily driven car. I live in an apartment building. I have a little girl. You know, it's the days of me with the car that's like rumbling, waking up the neighbors. It's just not me.
Right. I got you.
So when you drive like this, you can hear I'm not on the gas. It's very, very quiet.
Yeah.
You know, but then... It's good enough. It's good enough when you get on it.
Yeah. I love the sound of just superchargers.
Yeah.
I know it's a battle these days. Like a lot of people like twin turbo. I'm cool with turbos. I got no issue with it, but I lean more towards being a supercharger guy. And I think part of it's just, I love the sound of the whine you get. And I love that low end grunt you get, because that's where we get to really use any power.
It's all usable power, right? It's it's from the beginning.
A lot of cars, we don't get the opportunity to spool up the turbos because we're already sitting in traffic at that point.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah, this is all available all right at idle.
Yeah, it really does shift hard. That was something you said you did.
Yeah, so liver noise. Yeah, so I had the engine upgrade and the transmission tune I had done by Liver Noise Motorsports. They have done just tons and tons of testing. They've done
Liver Noise
Motorsports in Chicago.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they their stuff is just amazing. So this was a package. It was called the S975 package. Bigger injectors, a different tune, smaller pulley for a little bit more boost, different crankshaft, pin the crankshaft as well.
Wow.
A couple other little goodies that I did. I did a little port on the throttle body and a couple of other things, and then they tune it. That you send them your PCM, they send it back.
Right.
And then I bought a transmission cable. They overnight you a laptop, and then I did the trans tune. So I was driving it actually for a little bit of time without the trans tune, and it was great. But now with the trans tune, it's a completely different car.
Right.
Totally different car.
So with all that done, what did you say you're making horsepower wise out of this?
Well, they call it the S975 kit. I don't know. It's much more than what it was from stock. I haven't had the car in a dyno, so I couldn't honestly tell you.
So they're telling you 975. You don't know for sure because you haven't had it on a
correct.
dyno.
They're
so
telling
you're not
you 975, and that's without the little bit of porting work that I had done. And so I don't know.
So you're around 1,000 horsepower is reality.
Yeah,
you give or take a little bit.
That's what they say.
Yeah,
but again, it hasn't been on a dyno, so.
No, I get you.
All I know is it's fast as hell.
Yeah. Well, it is. That's the funny part to me, dude. Is we're I've said this in videos before. We're living in this. I think it's the greatest era for the enthusiast because we can go to a dealership and buy this car bone stock, and you got 707 horsepower.
Right.
Mine's 650 horsepower,
right.
And now there's. How about the Hellefant crate motor?
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
I know.
1,000 horsepower
in the
motor.
90s,
do you know that thing comes with a 2-year, 24,000 mile warranty on it?
It's insane. The technology's insane now. You know, back in the day when I was driving my 5-liter Mustangs, you know, if you could get 300 horsepower, you put a Vortex supercharger and you had 400, like you were the big boy. It's like
you were a badass with 400 horsepower.
Now 400 horsepower is in a Honda Civic.
It's a joke now, right? It really.
Yeah, times have changed.
And the reality is, I mean, I'm a like personally because I like doing canyons a lot. So 500 to 600 horsepower for me is just that perfect range.
Right.
So obviously you've done a bigger wheel on here.
Yeah, I did 22-inch Hellcat style wheels. I used to build motorcycles and even with some other cars that I've had, the one thing that I can't stand is having something that somebody else has. There has to be something about mine that you know it's mine. Like there's no chance of you running into somebody else or seeing another Trackhawk that looks exactly like this.
Not at all. I mean, this thing's so unique to you.
So
already.
I try to either make custom pieces or have things made that only I'm going to have, so that you know it's mine when you see it. So
yeah.
I sent the grill out to Race Mesh Grills. They had never done a Trackhawk. They had actually done very few Jeeps, even the older style. They did all of the mesh inserts on the grill. I had a tow hook fabricated. I bought a tow hook from ZL1 add-ons. I bought their Corvette tow hook, and then we fabricated a bracket so it's actually functional. So I have a tow hook on the front. The splitter I got from a friend on Instagram. For my other 2014 or 15, I was going to upgrade the front end. I was going to use that splitter. I didn't. It was sitting in my garage. So not many people have the splitter. And then it's just, just the yellow headlights. Some people hate them. Some people love them. I love the yellow headlights. But it's one of those things.
And are you not worried about getting pulled over with your yellow headlights?
It's legal in California.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is. It is legal in California.
I thought they weren't.
No, they are. I have it on my phone for when I get stopped. It says that any white or yellow in the state of California is legal.
That's cool to know, dude. I didn't know that.
White or yellow. I have it. I printed it right off of the Department of Motor Vehicles.
I didn't know that,
Yes,
man.
white or yellow is legal. So
there's other things you did. Like I noticed on the rear, it's almost like two wings. Like there's a visor, I suppose, up top.
Yeah, that's just add-ons. There's a company called Sorona in New York. They, the thing about this car is there's very few companies that are producing parts for this car. You can't really, there just isn't too many options, unfortunately, at the time. But Sorona makes some really good stuff. Yeah. So I just got their top wing. It's a little lip-on, and then there's a little one that I got on the bottom that goes mid. Just a little, nothing too crazy. So I got that, and then, of course, they did different exhaust tips, and it was really hard to find the right exhaust tips. Those are tips, I actually found them on eBay. They're stainless steel with a matte carbon fiber ceramic, but they actually didn't fit right. So we had to modify the mufflers and the inlets and the outlets and weld them and kind of cut them and get them to just so that they had the right profile and they fit right. But to me, it looks great. I love the way they look. I haven't seen another one
really good. It's very reminiscent of like the Akrapovic tips that I've seen on
exactly
a handful of BMWs that friends of mine own.
Right.
The interior in this, typical of Jeep Cherokees. I've had a couple of Grand Cherokees.
Right.
I mean, I love this carbon.
The carbon fiber is amazing.
The carbon is slick in here, man.
Yeah, the carbon fiber is amazing. It's really nice. That's what was impressed me. Even from the SRT had a very nice interior, but from the SRT to the Trackhawk, it was just a level up. The fit, the finish, the thickness. Like the one thing that I love about Mopar, all the Mopar vehicles is very heavy, very bulky, very like thick feeling. You get in some of these other cars, the steering wheel is thin, the doors feel chintzy, nothing feels heavy.
Yep.
These cars feel built, they feel tough. That's what I like about it.
Yep.
All right, you guys, well now you understand why it is that we shot a second Trackhawk. This is definitely, as you saw in the video, far from a stock Trackhawk. One of the things we left out, we got to talking and driving and stuff, and we left this completely out. He's got a Demon hood on this car. Better airflow, supercharger loves it, makes better power, right? But just really cool doing this. Alfonso, today's the first time I met him, and obviously super cool guy. Hope you guys had fun in this episode. Thanks for hanging and watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. All right, man. Later.